In Confessions of a Gen X Mind, I look back at childhood, culture, media, music, and technology. Not to romanticize the past, but to understand it. To examine how a generation learned to adapt without instructions. And why so many of us are only now finding the language to explain ourselves. I'm George Tenike. I grew up in the space between two eras. Before the internet explained everything. Before algorithms shaped identity. Before anyone talked openly about neurodivergence. I'm a media producer and a writer, and I host the podcast Confessions of a Gen X Mind. I was an early tech adopter. Movies like War Games with Matthew Broderick made computers feel powerful and dangerous in the best way. I learned how to build them from parts. MS-DOS, early Windows. I worked at Radio Shack. I explored the early online world through AOL at 2400 baud with that dial-up modem. When curiosity mattered more than speed. That curiosity led me into the media. I got my start in Dallas with a lucky break and a walk-on role at Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket, a local sports radio station that shaped an entire generation of broadcasters. It was my dream job. It was my favorite radio station. I learned fast, and I worked whenever they needed me. After graduating from the University of North Texas, reality set in. I faced a choice. Stay in my part-time dream job that I loved, working for the skydiving chief with all the guys I listened to on the radio all those years, or take full-time work with benefits inside the conservative talk radio machine at Salem, even though my own politics leaned progressive. I chose stability. Health insurance mattered. Rent mattered. That trade-off taught me how media systems really work from the inside. How narratives are shaped, and how repetition becomes truth, how production discipline matters just as much as belief. That path eventually led me to Yahoo Broadcast. Working in streaming and digital media after the Broadcast.com acquisition, early in my career, I met Mark Cuban at a ticket remote, a jeans and t-shirt tech guy who owned an NBA team. Amazing. That moment cracked something open. It showed me that unconventional paths were totally possible. I grew up between suburban Detroit and the Texas Bible Belt. I rode BMX. I found refuge in early rap and hip-hop and heavy metal. Music gave structure to chaos. Movement gave me calm. Those neurotypes didn't limit me. They shaped how I see patterns, how I create, and how I connect technology, culture, and memory in ways that finally make sense. A midlife diagnosis didn't change my past. It explained it. Confessions of a Gen X Mind is a personal, cultural, and media-literate exploration of growing up unsupervised in a rapidly changing world. It's about adaptation, resilience, and the long road to self-understanding. I'm George Tenike, and this is Confessions of a Gen X Mind. Dig into all of our episodes and tell a friend. Now available on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts.